All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Island Space Family Linkup. I am your co-founder and executive director, Calibe Thompson, and I'm really excited because last month, I believe, and the month before, you met our new board president and board vice president. So they're no longer new. But they are still here with us and they are still fabulous. So I am going to allow me to reintroduce myself and my co-host for today, Cleopatra Baudouin Moise. I'm learning how to say all these things with my French accent. And Christina Brown of Jamaica. Two of us are Jamaicans. The Haitian is outnumbered today. Don't worry about it. But we are a pan-Caribbean institution, so we try to make sure that everyone is represented and we are all here and happy together. So this family link up is meant to share with our audience, what's going on at Island Space, what is happening right now, what plans we have for the future, and how y'all can get involved. So, since it looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, I'm going to pass the mic over to Cleo and Christina to introduce yourselves, say your little piece at the beginning, and let me see if I can clear this up real quick. Cleo, you first.
All right, sure. Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Love being here again with you and enjoying our times together here at the museum. We hope you all come by for a visit if you haven't been yet. Island Space Caribbean Museum is a wonderful place to spend a Sunday afternoon like today. So the reason that we're on today is to try to educate everyone on all the wonderful programs that they can attend and just to come and visit us at the space. We would love to have you as a member, and we'll get more into that a little later. I'll pass it off to Christina.
All right. Thank you, Cleo. So hi, everyone. My name is Christina. I serve as the board vice president, and I'm just so excited to always be here with you guys, building community, sharing the impact that's happening out there on the field with us, and just looking forward to sharing all the exciting things that will be coming up and taking place at the museum. Super excited about this conversation. And yeah, thanks for being here. And while you're here, it's not too late to share the link and spread the word that the live's happening. So continue to invite people and yeah, let's get into it.
All right, guys. So it seems like we are only streaming on YouTube right now. So I don't know if we want to hang on a little bit or we can just ask everybody to watch on YouTube today and we will post it back on Facebook. But I would love to get the interaction. So if you're watching on YouTube, please just share it out to friends and family. Let them know that that's where they can watch it today. All right, we did have a little bit of a technical issue, but that's how life goes. We'll roll with it. Anyway, it is August. It is Emancipation Month. It's Independence Month for many of us. I'm on a little bit of a high because I was at the African American Research Library yesterday, where we partnered with them for the first time. We did this Emancipation Day event. They had Moko Jumbies, they had a drumming procession, they had Mecca Grimo representing Haiti with his conch shell, doing what do you call it, Negmawo?
Negmawo, look at you, yes.
Yeah, I know a little bit. I'm working. But it was really a spirit of camaraderie and love and fellowship. Emancipation Day is the day when those of us in the English-speaking Caribbean, the Anglo-Caribbean, actually received technical emancipation, meaning we were no longer supposed to be slaves. In 1834, 30 years after Haiti did it on their own. England did it for the English-speaking Caribbean, and it was 30 further years before America got their independence. The enslaved people in America got their independence. So emancipation means a whole lot to all of us. It's also Independence Day for Jamaica on August 6th this month, Independence Day for Trinidad on the 31st. And then we have a ton of events and activities coming up at the museum that we can talk about in just a little bit. But first off, I wanted us to share our island space stories because I'm always touched when I hear you guys. So I'll share mine to start. I will share that, as a co-founder, Island Space for me became a reality based on my desire to celebrate my Caribbean heritage. I came to this country from Jamaica, only knowing rice and peas and our version of patty. And when I came here and started seeing the empanadas and the black beans and rice and the diricole and the John John and all of these various cultures, the flags that you see at Carnival here, when you're at Carnival in Jamaica, it's just Jamaican. It's color, it's colors. It's not flags and all of the things that you see here. And so seeing that multicultural diversity, that spirit again of camaraderie that the Caribbean community embodied here, made it so I wanted to create something that would represent that. And I did that through television productions, through magazines. If you knew Island Origins magazine, just everything that I would do had that touch of the Caribbean on it. And my business partner, David, forced me, forced us. We had the opportunity to do a pop-up museum. And, with that opportunity, thanks to the Broward Mall, they said, hey, do you want to do something longer term than that? And I was a little nervous to do it. I'm still nervous, almost 6 years later, because it's challenging in the current environment to keep something like this going. But it's so important. And the other two ladies you're going to hear from right now are going to share why it is so important from their own reactions when they came into the museum for the first time. So Cleo, actually, Christina, let me start with you for this one, because Christina actually volunteered herself without ever setting foot in the museum, volunteered herself to become a member of the board. And I just love her story. So I'm going to invite you, Christina, to share your story of how you became involved with Island Space and why it was so important to you.
Yes, of course. So for me, I came here many years ago. I'm not going to date myself, but many years ago, I was 8 years old when I moved to Florida. And as Calibe shared, South Florida is really a melting pot of different Caribbean cultures. But still, something felt missing. I even from 8 to now as an adult, I had a longing for connecting with my culture and just still feeling like home. And so fast forward to maybe a year from now, my brother came home with a flyer from an event he attended or participated in at the museum. So when I saw this flyer and I said, Caribbean Museum, and I see that it's a Pan-Caribbean museum representing all the Caribbean cultures, I was like, wow, I've never thought of this. I've never seen this before. So immediately I was interested. And then when I did my research, I went on the website, I saw the work they were doing. I saw they were representing all the Caribbean cultures and also trying to educate and build community. I was like, how can I get involved? How can I support this? And the reason why this is so important is because a lot of us, when we migrate here, like I mentioned, something is missing. You feel kind of disconnected from your culture. You really try to preserve as much as you can within your families, but there's just still a disconnect. And then on top of that, you're meeting, Bahamians, you're meeting, Haitians, Trinidadians, and you're like, wait, we're similar in many ways, but we don't really have the conversation to see, how our history intertwines, right? So that's what this museum does. And I wanted to get involved immediately. And so I was like, how can I get involved on a strategic level? And that's why I applied and I decided to, become a board member. Where I solely, I help in all different ways, but I solely focus on events, production, strategy on that ends of things. But it really, the impact this museum has and the stories that we are telling and the fact that we are the ones telling our stories, preserving our culture, celebrating each other, uplifting each other. It is just so important. And I will end with what really stuck with me with the museum is that maybe I didn't have this when I was younger, but my niece and nephew will, my children will, and the generations to come will have this place. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm here to stay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing your story, which I think is so powerful. And then Cleo, you're what we call in Jamaica old hat. You've been around, and it sounds derogatory, but we say it with love, of course. You've been around for quite a while. You're a longtime family, right?
Thank
You came to various museum events, and I think it was Mandy who actually recruited you to become a board member, and you said yes so quickly. So if you want to share, I love your story as well because it brings in the next generation, and not just those of us who have been around for a minute. So if you share your story with us.
Sure, and thank you so much for that intro. And the museum means a lot to me. So I will share my story. I am a first generation Haitian American. I'm born in New York, and I've been living here 10 years now. And it was very nice to be invited here. I mean, once I hear anything Caribbean, I'm down. I always want to know what's going on. And the first day that I walked through the doors, I just felt instantly at home. I knew nothing about the museum, but just looking at the casing, it was the first time that I went to a museum and I saw myself represented. All of our childhood stories were beautifully displayed and it kind of brought life to it. So I immediately said to myself, my two daughters, I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, they have to come see it. And I have to bring my mom because she's the link, right? She's the one that's been passing it down. So I've been using the museum as a very intentional way to pass down our culture and heritage. At home, we make all the juicule, the rio, the pickles. I do that already. We listen to the music, but the parts that we tell stories, this place actually showcases the stories and it gives us a sense of pride and uplifts us outside of what we're not taught in schools anymore, what we're not seeing on TV anymore. So I think it's a very great intentional way to just bring culture into our family and structured in a structured way. So I love the museum for many different reasons. I grew up as a 90s Haitian American, so we had a lot that we were going through at that time. And I feel like we're back into those times again in a certain way. And I love that the museum sheds light on the positive sides of our stories. If you would like to go somewhere and feel represented and you prideful and you ignore the noise, Common Space is for you.
Hmm. All right, in agreement. So thank you so much. And if you're seeing the comments pop up from that amazing young lady, Ginger, it's because she is one of our greatest champions. She is our, I call her our chief diaspora. Actually, she is our official diaspora ambassador, diaspora liaison for the museum. You'll hear names like Dr. Camille Edwards, who is our youth and engagement liaison to the community as well. And these people are, some of them are members who contribute monthly. Some of them are members in terms of, again, the Island Space family that we're building. They have adopted us. They do the work, even though they're not on staff or on salary. They do the work because it enriches them. And the same way that being here kind of gives to your life in the way that it does. Everybody's enriched by their participation. So Ginger, I will call out specifically because she's one of our cultural guardians, and she's very proud of that. Her name, when you come in, her name is on the wall, on the donor wall, because she gives a certain amount each year, as well as giving up her time. And so membership is one of the ways that you can support Island Space. We are in a time right now where there are situations going on at a level above our level where even municipalities in the state of Florida, I'm going to get technical a little bit and share that there's a bill called SB 1134, where in the state of Florida, starting in January, if any municipality supports anything that looks like DEI, so Black History Month activities, Women's Month events, LGBTQ events, Caribbean heritage events, they can literally be removed from office. So you may see a lot of these things disappearing from the public discourse. Island Space is one of the spaces where we are going to maintain that as much as possible. Every time we can, we're going to wave our diversity, equity, and inclusion flag as high as we can, just because it is who we are. We may not frame it that way in terms of the naming, but we want to make sure that we are inclusive of everyone, especially our Caribbean community. And so, I'm going to invite everyone to help support the museum, become a member. Let me put the information here. Become a member at Island Space. If you know that the work that we're doing is important, if you know representation is important, please consider becoming a member at $10, $25, $50 a month. That repeat donation, that automatic donation each month is what helps us to maintain the work that we're doing so we can be representative of everyone in this great country of America, especially here in South Florida. So, ladies, if let me, I'm going to lob it to Cleo first and ask you if somebody had never been to Island Space before, how would you describe the museum to them?
I would describe it as vibrant, as fun, as welcoming. I would describe it as a mirror. This is exactly what you are familiar with your whole life. The stories that you've heard when you went back home to visit on those summer vacations, when you were just cooking breakfast in the morning and you saw something, a utensil or a tool that we use to prepare food. This is home. And I think that everyone should have the opportunity to come in and see themselves reflected in the in our museum. So, home.
And then, Christina, how would you describe Island Space?
I love that. I align with Cleo. So the first word that came to mind was nostalgic. When I first came to the museum, I immediately recognized my grandmother's home in Jamaica. Immediately, I saw the kerosene oil lamp, I saw the furniture, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I took these things for granted. Like, this is a part of our history, this is a part of who we are. But definitely nostalgic, and just how our history is being preserved through the artifacts you see right behind me. As soon as you see the feathers, as soon as you see the costume behind me, what comes to mind? Carnival, right? So I think what comes to mind for me is definitely nostalgia through what's here, and then also the fact that we're being celebrated and honored as Caribbean people.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for me, I mean, I guess I think at a more, basic level, certainly, the feelings are really important. But I always want people to just know that when you come in here, you're actually going to see a historical museum. You're seeing the artifacts,
Yes.
that tell the entire story of the Caribbean region. You're seeing some amazing guests who are coming into the museum to enjoy the space right now. If you don't know, we're coming to you from inside the museum, right? So Christina is over by the Junkanoo exhibit. Cleo is over by one of the art exhibits, and I'm here by Paul Campbell's work. And this is what you come into the museum to see. You're coming in to see artifacts, relics of culture. Some of them are super old, some of them are contemporary. Like, you can see a sad iron, if you don't know what that is. Before there was electricity, that's how they would iron the clothes. You will see things like the monkey jar before there was refrigeration. That's how you keep your water cool. We used it across the Caribbean. So it's stuff that you see in Jamaica and in Trinidad and Haiti and the Latin countries, the pilon or, whatever, mortar and pestle, whatever you call those. All of that is there. And then when you come in, every time you come, if you come in, say three, four times a year, each time you come in, you'll see a different collection of artworks behind you. So behind me is the work of Paul Campbell. And by the way, his solo kind of presentation is coming up on August 6th, which is Jamaican Independence Day. He has not been on stage theatrically in years. He's done his TV and movies, but he has not been on stage theatrically in years. So if you remember Walk and Live Talk and from Dancehall Queen and Third World Cup and Shatters, he will be here for for the first time in many years, doing a theatrical presentation in the setting where his artwork is in the background. AJ Brown of Third World was here a few weeks ago doing a sip and paint with his artwork in the background. Mark Cameron did his, where Cleo is right now. Mark Cameron is that artist, and he was here. He did a talk with a brunch because he's a culinary artist. So we bring these artists together and bring the community together as well. The space where we are is where people come and host their receptions and their community talkbacks and their fairs and festivals, and so many things happen here. It has become home to so many of us. So I'm glad that Ginger is reminding us, Ginger Spice, down there. You can see her message at the bottom or at top if you're watching on Instagram. but she reminds us that it is really important for us to have memberships with the museum and make that consistent contribution so we can continue to do this work. So moving on, um, Christina, would you share with us some of the things we have talked about some of the things we do inside the museum. What do we do outside the museum? How do we bring the culture outside into the community?
Yes. So, as we all know, as Caribbean people, we love to celebrate, we love to have fun, we love music, we love gathering. It's a huge part of our culture. So, outside of our museum, we have a lot of events and programs. So, whether we're partnering with other organizations and participating in what they're doing and setting up a table, just having visibility, we also host some of our own events. So we have things like Reggae Genealogy during February Reggae Month. We also just had our Mango Festival in June, which was amazing. I learned there were like hundreds of varieties of mangoes. I have to admit I'm not much of a mango eater myself. Don't crucify me for that. But there were it was just mango, 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 mango everywhere. And I mean, everyone showed up. And mango is, I would like to say, the staple fruit of the Caribbean, right? So that was a beautiful event. We also do a lot of other activations outside. And like I said, we partner with other organizations, especially if they're also uplifting and celebrating Caribbean culture. So if you're listening in and you're from an organization and you see opportunity where you would like for us to partner, please feel free to reach out to us. You could go on our social media platforms or the website. But yes, we do a lot of activations and events outside as well, outside the museum.
Absolutely. And Chris, Cleo, what is your favorite of those events? I think I know the answer, but let's see what it is if I'm right.
It
And
is.
then talk about some of what you want to see or what you're excited to see in upcoming island space programs that people might not know about yet.
That is such a tough question for me. My favorite event. Okay, you know what it is. My favorite event is hers. I think that that's my favorite. I mean, I love all of the events, though, because Reggae Genealogy, I'm saying hers, and you can shoot a clip of me like dancing with the stage. All of our events are great. We're Caribbean. Everything we do is fun.
Yeah.
So I love everything. What I love about Island Space is we have the unique opportunity being here in America that what used to separate us by water, like what was going in Jamaica in relation to Curacao or Trinidad, we weren't all connected. But now we're here in one place and we're seeing how similar we really are. And we're just joining forces. So I love women empowerment. I love celebrating. I believe that women decide the tone of the household and they bring in the culture and they educate and bring it down. So that's why really I love it that we're pouring into our female base. But I am looking forward to all of our events. We have our back to school bashment coming up. We have something for everyone. And then getting into the winter months, we have our marketplace where you can come and get some amazing artisanal pieces and give a true gift of meaning. So we have so many opportunities. But if you want to pin me down, I think it's going to be hers.
And then Christina, what is your favorite?
Okay, so I haven't been to this one yet, but it's just my favorite by default, and that is going to be the Rum Cake Festival. I cannot wait because for me that just takes me back to home where my family during the holidays would bake buckets and buckets of rum cake, right? And I couldn't wait until they started baking so I could have the bucket to myself. So that is my favorite, and I'm just excited to see how other Caribbean countries prepare their rum cake or black cake. So that's I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that one.
And so I think you guys kind of glossed over the part where I was asking about the future events as well. So Christina, you know all of what is supposed to be coming up. As I'm going to throw it back to you first and then ask Cleo, what are you looking forward to? Because we have a whole lot of new. I'm gonna put it back to Cleo because she has one that she loves. We haven't set a date for anything yet.
Okay.
But we're still gonna tell you because once we say it out loud, we have to do it.
Okay. All
Once we
right.
set it, when we
I
put
didn't
it
know
in
we
the
were talking
universe,
behind the scenes today. So if you want
no,
to bring it up, we could. All
if
right.
we're talking, if we say it out loud and we say it on here, we have to do it. So
All right.
it may be 2027 before you see these things, but we're putting it into the
Yeah.
universe. Let's do it.
And then I
Let's
hope
do
that
it.
there's a but like before and after it's big and everything. So my heart is with what we're calling Island Space Sessions, and what it is having live acoustic performances by our Caribbean artists that we love, but just a more behind the scenes. I would love to know how Beres Hammond came up with Night Nurse. I would love to know how Alan Kabe came up with Mawuz, which is one of my favorite compa songs. And then Marshall and anything he does, I just want the story so I can jump up and dance. So for me, I think we have a lot of storytelling that are within the music that we dance to all the time. It connects us. Music is always a universal language, and who else to tell that story besides us? So I think it's a great way for us to have widespread visibility so everyone can understand what the museum is all about, and to bring in our artists and bring them back home so they can broadcast to the world each and one of those stories.
All right. So that's the one that you're looking forward to the most, I imagine.
That is my 2027 stars right now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I like it. All right. And then Christina, you kind of know everything that's coming up. Hey, Michelle is watching as well. Thank you so
Hey,
much, Michelle,
Michelle.
for being on. And Ginger, of course, has to weigh in because she's the boss, right? So she likes reggae
Mhm.
genealogy, Mango Festival, and hers, followed by all in-house events. But I'm gonna go back to Christina to talk about some of the upcoming things, and then of course I will interject with some other ideas I have. So Christina, you next. What are you excited about that's coming up in, or that should be coming up in 2027?
Okay. Okay, if I could spill the beans on this one. I am looking forward to Taste of the Island series. It's basically going to be a culinary series where we're celebrating Caribbean food and also educating people about Caribbean food as well, whether we're highlighting an ingredient or a specific dish. And that's just so exciting because food is a huge part of our culture, and there is a story to tell when it comes to the food that we eat. So I am really looking forward to that because we get to eat and try the food, but we also we also get to learn about our culture on a deeper level when it comes to how our food came to be, and I feel like that's a conversation worth having. But it's so hard to choose because everything we do is just a lot of fun and it's very colorful, it's vibrant, and it's special.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. There are so many initiatives that we're working on. It may be a little challenging to talk about any one, as you said, because part of what we want to do is work with the community. We've been doing these things. I can't say on our own because everything we do is a partnership with somebody, right? Hers has traditionally partnered kind of quietly with Jamaican Women of Florida, although, to shout them out, they will have a health fair the same morning we're doing hers this year. So you can go there in the morning and get your health fix on and then come to us in the afternoon and just relax and enjoy fashion and a nice time. But I bring that up because everything we do is such a partnership with the community. Ginger and Michelle, who are both on the call right now, are some of our, strongest supporters. And it's like we have a contingent of 100+ volunteers who may come out to support any one of our events. Right? That's not a small thing. And
Yeah.
it's always done with the support of this organization or that organization in partnership with this group or this person. And so, we have to be grateful for that spirit. I've used this word like 10 times already, camaraderie that we have with our community. So I too am looking forward to the Taste the Islands, the return of the Taste the Islands activity, because that food thing, everybody loved the food, right? And Chris, for those who didn't know, Christina's background is in hospitality and culinary arts. So everybody's a little bit of an artist. Cleo actually has a side hustle that has some linguistical things going on. I'm not sure where
With
we
the
are with
tech
that, but
stuff.
I,
Yeah.
yep, at some point in time, we're going to need to come back and talk about that too.
Yes, no, we
Um,
will. We will when I feel
and
like it's right. But I have one more event that we
yes.
talked about recently that I really would want to bring up. And while we like to have fun and all of those things, there's a workforce development that we have to think of as well. And again, I think we are the perfect place to have a job fair. I think we bring in, you know, different business industry leaders. We have a huge healthcare network here in South Florida, hospitality. I mean, look at all the tourism that comes. Someone is behind those scenes, and it's often us. So I think that we bring everyone here to us, and when we can help connect people, you might be in a tough spot and you don't know who's hiring, and hopefully we'll connect you with that because we know once you feel secure at home, then you could think about everything else. So we just want to help a total package.
Awesome. Okay. And then, oh, look, Salima is on too. So let's just shout out all of these volunteers, these cultural guardians, these people who are really the backbone of Island Space. I see Ginger saying excellent, Cleo, and I agree. She came up with this job fair idea, and it has spawned so many other ideas
Thank
for us
you.
to do with the business ecosystem that we are a part of. I'm going to come to this question and then I'm going to go back to the business ecosystem because it's some of the things that we want to make sure that we're sharing. So, Christina and Cleo, what's your favorite cuisine that you like to share?
Christina, would you like to go first?
You go first, Cleo.
Me go first? Okay. I have to give you my favorite, but then I have to tell you what I really need to learn how to make, and I expect you both to help me with this. Okay, my favorite is legume. I'm Haitian. That's my favorite Haitian meal. Legume with white rice, sauce pois, zabuka, which is avocado. That's like it for me with crab.
Yes.
But what I need to learn how to make is manish water, goat head soup. Every Saturday, every Saturday I go to Golden Crust and I'm like, I need it. We love it, but I need to learn how to make it. So those
Oh.
are my two.
That, I think Cleo is a clandestine Jamaican in
Yes,
a
I think.
in our spirit. I mean,
From St.
I
Thomas, from St. Thomas, Jamaica.
oh my
Yes.
God. I'm a little Haitianish. I'm becoming a little Haitianish as well, but Cleo is also becoming a little Jamaican. Marcia Ward, let's big up Marcia Ward, who is one of our board members. She's the board secretary
Marcia.
and has been for many, many years, and she is a staunch supporter. Love you, Marcia. Love you, Salima. And then let's go back to Christina. What is your favorite? What was the question? What's your favorite cuisine that you would like to share?
Oh man. Oh man, that's hard. I love Jamaican food. Okay. What I would like to see is us present our Caribbean food in a more elevated way. I feel like I would love to see that. And kind of experiment with what we do. So, for instance, like this past weekend, I made like escabeche salmon and escabeche wings. You know,
Ooh.
it's like a technique, or like even like, jerk chicken. Jerk is more of a technique than just a seasoning. So I like to see us highlight that and elevate that, with with our food. But I'm gonna fall behind Cleo with what I love to learn to cook. Now, don't come for me, Caribbean people in the chat, but Haitian mac and cheese is no joke.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Haitian mac and cheese is the best mac and cheese I have ever had. And
I
would
just bought a
love,
tray last week here. I wish I knew.
I would love, that's what I was looking forward to, your mom's mac and cheese. Just one
You got
little
one
spoon.
coming up.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you, I think I speak for both me and Cleo when I say we're very upset that we were not invited for this escovitch salmon.
Same.
I
I'm
told you,
sorry.
I'm speaking for me and you.
I'm
I
sorry.
think for
Next
the
time.
next one of this, we should bring the food too.
Yes,
Please.
we should. Next time. But yes, I love to make Haitian mac and cheese and also sauce pois. I love sauce pois. And I know there are different variations of sauce pois.
Yeah.
I love to learn. Yeah.
What is sasqua?
Sauce bar is the bean sauce. So what yeah, black bean sauce, but we have it with red kidney sauce, which I know you have
Mhm.
as well. We have a white
Mhm.
version, a black version, a green version. There's a lot, and they pair with different meats. So
Mhm.
So, so I love that. And then I think of when we think of beans or peas in Jamaica, you think of stew peas, you think of
Right.
rice and peas, you think of red pea soup, you think of gungo soup. And part of this idea of bringing Taste the Islands back into the museum is the concept of taking an ingredient and highlighting that ingredient and telling the story of how we utilize that ingredient in our country, in that country, in the other country. Everybody has a different version. Because I don't know if you ever had good pillow from Trinidad, but mwah,
Oh, yes.
brilliant stuff,
Delicious.
Oh
right?
yes, yes. It has the chicken and
Yeah.
the rice
Yep.
and
And
okay,
everything in one
it
pot. I
is
guess
so
they
good.
call it
Yeah.
arroz con pollo or something like that
It
Mhm.
is
in,
like
in
that.
the Latin country. So everybody has their version of stuff. And that's what we want to explore. Highlight cassava this month or cornmeal the other month or,
I love it.
whatever, and really
Mhm.
make something where the local restaurants can shine and
Right.
we can shine. And I'm going to take up a moment here and just remind us that part of why we have these discussions every month is to make sure that we are engaging our community with Island Space. And the best way for you to do that, the way that helps us to sustain ourselves, is through your membership. If you
Yes.
have $10, if you have $25, if you have $50, I like the hundreds. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. But whatever you have every month, and we do have members at that level, it helps keep the lights on. It helps keep our staff employed. It helps keeps the rent paid and so on. We are a nonprofit, but that doesn't mean that we don't have expenses, and they're very real and they're very high.
Mm.
But that is how we can continue to do this work and make these plans, because we have faith that the community that we are serving actually wants us to be here, sees the importance of the work that we are doing, and you are all willing to make that contribution so that we can continue doing the work. So please, if you can only donate, if you are willing to donate, whatever amount, you can go to islandspacefl.org/donate. But if you are willing to make that monthly commitment, even at $10 a month, it makes all the difference in the world. It's islandspacefl.org/membership. So, I was talking a while ago about the what is it, the business community, right? You talked about the job fairs, and that's one aspect, one element of existing in South Florida. We all need to have a job because we have bills to pay, but we want to also incorporate the business community. I'm going to shout out our cultural guardians on the call, because two of them have small businesses that we do try to support where we can here. Salima is on the call. She has a small business called the Print Pot. Ginger, I don't remember the name of your business, but if you drop it in there, I will pop it on screen, right? But Salima's business, if you come in here, you will see some of the branded items inside of the museum. Salima makes those for us so that we can have, you can have something that you can take home with the Island Space brand on it. If you want to support us, if you want to support the small businesses, everything you see up at the front is something that a small business vendor in South Florida has provided to us. Maybe you'll see some Grace Tropical Rhythms up there. That's the largest brand name of things that we have. The Haitian Monopoly game, the bags that you may see, anything else up there. The chocolate that we just got from I want to say Belize. All of these are small businesses, micro entrepreneurs who the museum supports. So even when you come to the vendor markets or the rum cake festival or the mango festival, all of the artisans that you see there are small businesses. So one of the initiatives that we want to work on next year, and we've been feverishly writing grants. That's how we keep ourselves going, writing grants to see if we can get the business community to support this, is the Caribbean Business Collective. We're not trying to create another chamber of commerce, but we work with so many small businesses in the community that we want a place where they can network with each other, where they can be connected to larger businesses, sources of finance, sources of
Yep.
information, to just grow that side of what it is that they're doing. Cleo, I'm going to throw it back to you or
Hmm.
Christina, either of you, whoever wants to speak more about just how Island Space not only deals with culture, but supports the cultural community, the cultural economy in South Florida? Who wants to take that one?
Sure, I'll be happy to take it. So, recently we participated in the IFC, is that if I'm saying that correctly, in the Travel Tourism Convention.
IPW.
IPW, thank you. That takes place here. And we went to the closing ceremony together. And I saw a flock of people running to Khalid saying how grateful they were that we were able to participate and show our culture. And these are things that we do every day. We came in mass, we had music and vibrancy, and we just added life to that event. And I think that's what we constantly do. Uh, Going back to what you said about the workforce, I work for a large corporation and I'm on the other end of the giving side. And I know that if enough people come to their HR or to whoever management is and say, I support this institution, I would love to see if you would help me in supporting them. That goes a long way because not everyone does that all the time. So you'd be surprised at what people will do to invest in their employees if they see your place of interest. So I would implore everyone on the call right now, if you know that your company gives back in any way, tell them about Island Space Caribbean Museum. It might be something of interest of them to get involved with as well.
Awesome. And Christina, do you have any thoughts that you want to share on this?
I agree with everything Cleo said. As far as how we support culturally, especially with businesses and stuff like that, like you mentioned, Khalid, we're just always collaborating with small businesses, always collaborating with vendors. These vendors are our families, they're returning, always partnering with them. Even this DJ that we work with, that usually comes and supports our events, especially here at the museum. This is someone that has been with us for years, right? So it only makes sense that we launch an initiative where we are bringing these Caribbean businesses together, because this is what we're doing outside of the community, this is what we're doing in the museum, and these are people that we're continuously working with. And we'd like to grow that family and that network as well.
Absolutely. And to add to what Christina just said, you just brought up a very good point. I think Island Space is a great place for team building initiatives too and activities. So if anyone has a large base of employees that are Caribbean, trust me, this is the place that you're going to get everyone to let their hair down and understand the messaging, because environment and where you bring someone really changes how you look. So get out of your boardrooms and come to Island Space. I promise you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to shout out my friend Glenn Black, who is also on the call. Thank you for him saying reach. So, we have so many people, and Glenn Black is a great performer. I call him a comedian. He doesn't think he is, but I do. And he's a great DJ. There are so many people in the creative community. I don't know what he does for his regular job, but so many of us have a creative spirit about us, and this is where you come to let that flag fly, once again. So I'm going to invite him. I don't think I've seen him at the museum yet. I'm going to invite him here. But you just said something a while ago I wanted to piggyback on. Using the museum as a space, right? To do your team building and so on. What are they called? The Plantation Midtown Committee.
Yes.
We are based in Plantation, the city of Plantation, which is right in the heart of Broward County. And the area of Plantation we are is called Midtown. It's actually we're inside the Broward Mall. If you haven't been here, you're going to go to the northeast corner, Broward and University, northeast corner of the Broward Mall at Broward and University. And once you come into that entrance by the building that looks like it's under construction, ours is the first unit once you get on the inside. But we have the mayor of Plantation, we have several business people come in, and this is where they sit around a table and have their powwows and just brainstorm in an environment that is filled with just rich art in the back. Imagine you're having your board meeting and what is behind Cleo and what's behind me is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Right. And your folks can just walk around the museum and enjoy the culture, have a little food, a little wine in the morning. I don't mind wine in the morning, but if you want to do it, if you're doing an afternoon thing, I think there's a Caribbean bar group or something like that coming into the museum to do an after work networking of some sort or planning session. And I love that. I love when people from our community come into come into the space and find a way to make it their own. My friend Glenn Black says he accepts all titles. Yes, 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 Glenn. That's not his real name, but anyway. So yeah, that's where we are, and I'm going to invite somebody else to do the reminder of the membership a little bit before we wrap up. So Cleo, I'm going to ask you to do one more membership push
Of
right here
course.
for us.
Okay. Right now?
Yeah.
All right, great. Guys, I mean, I can't, from the bottom of my heart, I promise you that even if you feel like you have a full plate now, this is just going to release some of our daily pressures that we have. You feel home when you're here. I know sometimes just leaving our houses and making space and time for something feels like a lot, but once you get here, it makes sense. I ask you if you have to meet up with someone and you want to just reconnect with someone, this is a great meeting ground. If you join as a member, bring your family, your friends. You can also, we invite ideas. I mean, ask Calibe and Christina, I send 5 ideas a day. And this is a place where you're heard because you're a member here, you're part of the family. So I would implore you to please check out this link, see the membership tier, see where you fit in. And then we'll take it from there. But we would love to hear from you. We're a very engaged board. We have Mandy, Stephanie, Calibe. They are tremendous at what they do and keeping everything going. We have a lot of balls in the air at all times. So the more help, the better. If you feel that you're a service person, this is the place for you. We can definitely, more hands lift up the load, as we have a saying in Creole. That translated that. So the more hands, the better. We need you. We ask you to please come on board. All minds. We want someone from, we are looking for the tech community, finance, healthcare, small business, entrepreneurship. If you can hear my voice, we need you. So please come and join on as a member.
Absolutely. And let me say how you can do that because people will ask sometimes, and I don't think I see all the contact information. You'll see everything that we have. It says islandspacefl.org/whatever. Islandspacefl.org is our website. Our email addresses are typically our first name with the website address afterwards. And if you email museum@islandspacefl.org, that comes to three of us, so your message will never be lost. So I do want to share before we wrap up. We have about 7 minutes left, and then I'm going to give Christina the last word at that point. But Haiti, the Haitian community had what was called TPS, temporary protected status, for many, many years. It meant that if you came here, there was some level of protection, asylum, so on. And unfortunately, on the 27th, I mean, it unfortunately is the understatement of the century. On the 27th of July, it was rescinded, fully rescinded by our government. And so many Haitians are going to be, on pins and needles, not sure what their next steps are going to be. And so we won't do a moment of silence, but I do want people to recognize that what we do has consequences. Our decisions today have consequences tomorrow, and it affects our friends, our neighbors, some people you will probably never even have known were here under temporary protected status because they are such contributors to the community. And because of a piece of paper, they may no longer be with us in short order. So let's pray for everyone. Let's hope that we can continue to support our friends and neighbors. Let us hope that with the bill SB 1134, whatever the number is, that I mentioned before, I laugh about it, but it's truly serious because it's an existential crisis for many of us in the arts community, particularly those who receive majority of their government funding or their funding from the government. We are flexible. We host our events. We go to private corporations. We look for sponsorships. We've been building our membership base, and we continue to need that more now than ever. We do need to transition from that government support, if it's going to be so precarious, to philanthropic, to institutional, to corporate, to organizational, to those who are not afraid of the term DEI, even if we don't continue to use it, but what it stands for me being a Black Caribbean immigrant woman, and proud of that, and proud to say that's who I am. And so I understand when people want to bring folks together, but that's exactly what we do at Island Space. I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I think it's important for us to say these things. Um, and then I'm going to ask Christina to just invite everyone to participate in the various ways that they can with Island Space before we wrap up. I do want to shout out Dr. Camille Edwards. She's here with us today because we're doing some recordings for hers, which is coming up on August 29th. Saturday, August 29th. If you have not yet got your ticket, they're $30 right now. If you want to go into the Queen's Parlor, which is, we like to do things a little bit elevated if you want the premium experience. That one is $65, but the regular admission right now is $30. So go ahead and get your tickets right now. We also have Paul Campbell Fusion of Plains coming up on Thursday, the Back to School Bashment that's coming up on Friday, the Rum Cake Festival. We don't have the date for that yet. It's going to be probably the 14th or 15th of November. It's the weekend after Jerk Festival. And then I'm going to throw it to Christina to just invite people to participate with the museum in any way that they can.
Yes, there are several ways to support the museum. I just want to acknowledge something beautiful that's happening right now. We have visitors and they are asking questions about the artifacts. I'm seeing their faces light up. I'm seeing that they're seeing their stories being told here. So I want to invite all of you to just come out to the museum. Come out, explore, see, learn about what we are doing for the Caribbean community. But yes, you can come out and get involved as a volunteer. Our volunteers are our engine. They help us to keep going, whether they're coming and supporting on an administrative level or they're helping us run an event, right? But our volunteers are so vital to what we do and the fact that we can do it. Also, if you're interested in supporting on a strategic level, if you are an expert in your field and you have, you just reached that point in your career where you would like to support an institution on a board level, we have that as well. We are growing our board. We're still fairly young. We also have other committees. So for Cleo mentioned, if you're working in tech, if you are working in marketing or anything like that, we have committees where you can get involved and support us there as well. And here's a space if you'd like to come host an event here, like mentioned, you can just reach out to her, reach out to the emails that were mentioned. Also, just go on our website and reach out to us. Let us know if you'd like to host an event here or like to partner with us on an event that you see is coming up. Another thing I want to invite you to do is when you go on our website, you're going to see a pop-up that's going to ask you to register for our newsletter. That's what keeps you informed about what's happening with the museum. So please, please, please register for our newsletter so that you're up to speed with everything that we have going on. I just realized in the short hour, there's so much we didn't talk about.
I know.
We didn't say because we are an engine. We are going, and we couldn't do it without you all. And I just want to wrap by saying, please, please, please. The best way you can support us, especially in this time, especially with everything that Cleo and Calibe just mentioned, the fact that we have this space and this platform to highlight Haiti and what's happening and to stand in solidarity with them. The best way you can support us and to help us keep these doors open and continue the great work we're doing is through membership, because membership is not about right now. It's about the longevity of the museum and the mission that we're on. So those are the ways you can get involved. We are a family. We are open book. So please reach out to us. We're so excited to get to know you. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. And we're just looking forward to your support and to you joining the family.
All right. And since we actually did start a little bit late, we started at, I think it was 3:05 or 3:06. So I'm going to take a little pinch a little bit more time so that we get our full hour and just ask you both, what is your, just succinctly, what is your vision for Island Space long term?
I'm sorry, say that one more time, Khalid.
What is your long-term vision for Island Space? Where would you like to see Island Space be? I'll ask you first, Christina, and then we can and then we can go to Cleo, and I'll share mine.
Okay, long term, right? So many there, there are a lot of things I would love to say right now. But what is at the top of my mind is definitely a bigger home. I mean, we're trying to represent the entire Caribbean. So we need a bigger space to do so. And we have so many ideas. There's technology that we'd like to install here. We want to make it an immersive experience. There's so much we want to do, but we do need a bigger home. We need our forever home where we can host more events, host bigger events within our home. So that, off the top of my head, that is what I love to see in the future. Is our forever home. Yes.
Ginger wants a huge location.
Yes,
bigger and better, permanent with more artifacts.
I agree.
And then Cleo, what is your hope for the future for Island Space?
Same, bigger, better, beautiful. I'm into, you know me, it's bigger, go home. So multi-level, somewhere we have a water in the background to connect us to our Caribbean culture. You're going over a bridge, you're pointing at us, our landmarks and lights. That's me. That's us. That's already us. But we're just gonna get the building. But a bigger thing, back on what you were speaking about with the political aspect, I feel like we have such an opportunity to be one voice if we all got together. Khalid, what's the stat? 1 in 5 South Floridian is
1 in 4.
1 in 4.
1 in 4, yeah.
And that's just South Florida. This is a global institution. I know we're located in South Florida, but New York, where you at? Boston, where are you? We know Ohio. We know that we're everywhere, all over the world, and that's just America. So what I would like to see is that our voice matters. And anytime somebody's thinking of passing a law, doing something, they're going to think about what does Island Space and that Caribbean population have to say about this? You need our votes.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say thank you for those. I am also going to say that for the future of Island Space, I want to see more of those partnerships. I want to see that community building. Sometimes I'm here and the community, because we're not like a chamber of commerce where it's about coming and having meetings every week or whatever. Sometimes I don't feel that the community that we want to build is manifesting the way that I want to see it. This is me in my head. But we have different communities. We have our volunteer community that's always together, typically at an event, but they do come together. We have our weekly meetings and so on. There is a vendor community that exists. There is a donor supporter community that exists. We need to do better and we want to do better. Our members, right? Our cultural guardians and so on. We want to do better at creating the venues, creating the facilities or the events or whatever for these people to come together inside of Island Space and do things together and share ideas and become that venue where you can come and just share whatever it is that you want to do. Jamil, one of our volunteer archivists, is part of another group. Lord, I cannot forget the name of it. Darius Daughtry's arts group.
Art Prevails.
Art Prevails. Thank you very much. And they did a play the other day, and I saw Jamil on stage for the first time. I'm like, Jamil, you're doing all this archiving stuff. Why aren't you doing a spoken word program for the youth or something? But our youth and education committee, again, led by Dr. Camille Edwards, is already working on programs where we can bring in the little kids, but we want teenagers. We have so many teenage volunteers and interns here all the time. What can we do to engage them, to make them feel like this place belongs to them as well? And there's something fun and engaging that they can do. So we can have all the ideas in the world, but you're watching, you're a part of this conversation. As you think about things like Glenn Black, I'm not putting it on screen, but he said we should look at Palm Beach for venues for the museum. I ain't going up there. We're not doing that, right? But whatever the ideas are that you have, especially we don't want to do all of the work of the programming. You are the creators, you are the creative people. He did say, Glenn Black, I can't find the comment, but he said he wants to do a DJ set up here at the museum at some point in time. So we'd love to invite him. You know, we have 2 or 3 in-house DJs already. We want more. We want you in the community to feel comfortable coming in and making this space your own. We will partner with you as much as possible. We can't cover the expenses of everything because, as we said, we have bills to pay, but we will work with you to make sure that what your event is what you want it to be, that we are all represented. If we can help to figure out, you know, how we find financing together for your things to happen, we just want to be the space that helps make it happen. Right? We want, when you walk in, just like Cleo, just like Christina, even before you get here, you're like, oh, this feels like home. But wait,
Yeah.
you never come here yet. But it feels like home. You understand the vibe and what it feels like. So I think we're actually at our hour now. And for those of you who have joined us, thank you so much. For those who stayed on for the whole call, thank you. Michelle, Ginger, Glenn Black, Salima, Marcia, whoever else came on and didn't say hi. You know, thank you so much for being here with us. And we will hope to see you next month or at the end of this month when I think
End of the month.
Julie,
Mhm.
right,
Yes.
Julie's going to be hosting the family link up. But we do this every single month. Talk about the things that we want to talk about. And if you put a topic in the chat, we'll talk about that as well. So look forward to seeing everybody. Ladies, anything else we
All
want to
right.
say?
Thank you so much. And
Yes,
happy
thank you for being here.
emancipation.
Happy
Yes.
Emancipation.
Thank
Happy Independence Day. Bless up, everybody.